CJRB, the Kicker. And that's because of this recoil lock they have on here, which looks like you can kind of function with it in many different ways. Just pull back with your finger. Of course, you can kind of keep your fingers out of the way when you actuate that. I don't know. I think they were working on this design several years ago before the Benchmade Axis lock patent expired. Personally, this recoil lock to me, or at least that's the way it's named on the White Mountain side. I mean, it's okay. It's gimmicky. It's a bit trick, but I'm not real big on it. This doesn't really float my boat much because you've got this coming up right here with the flipper tab. This is not a comfortable way to operate a flipper. If this wasn't a flipper and it was just thumb studs, that might be better actually. I don't think I need this flipper tab here with this recoil lock. So that's how you're opening the knife, and that's the way it is. This is a $39 knife, and with LTK discount code you get about another $4 off. Free shipping, no tax, so not bad. Deep carry pocket clip and really grippy G10. D2 steel blade, it's stone washed. Really, I like the design of the knife overall. I do like the design. It flows pretty well. You're seeing the back of this blade, and I guess you're seeing this back corner because of the way this functions here. Here's your stop. And you got to put all this gear up here somewhere, so I guess that's what happens there. Blade to handle length is okay. I think it could have been a bit longer, although the blade drops down so far, it's right up against this backspacer that wraps around, so probably couldn't have added much in that regard. Take a look at the overall. 8 1/4, so same length as a paramilitary 2, fairly typical EDC length, 21 centimeters, 3.5 inch blade at 90 millimeters. And let's see what we got for blade stock. 3.2, somewhere in there as things move around. 3.15, what's that, a 1/4 inch? Pretty close, yeah it is. An 1/8 inch, not 1/4 inch. That'd be 6 millimeters, but that's an 1/8 of an inch. 0.5 for thickness, 12.8. So that's pretty much. Those are good numbers right there. Very comfortable. The ergo is pretty neutral stuff in here. You got a little bit of a palm swell going, and yeah. Probably not the most ergo friendly because it is this big thing going on here, so it's kind of creating a little area that's not as neutral as it might be, but it's not that difficult to function with. And actually reverse grip is more comfortable. Pocket clip, I like the way they do that. It's deep carry. And of course they need to get rid of this screw right here, and these other 2 screws that are further back, they can move this pocket clip back. You don't need 3 screws here, okay? You can make this screw do double duty in the pocket clip. You can, and I don't know why more people don't do that, but that makes no sense, does it? Okay, so yes, you could eliminate that hole and just have these. And then this and this could do, and then you'd have a deeper carry clip as well, since you're trying to do a deep carry. And second of all, I mean, come on, folks. See these screws that just like big, huge cinnamon rolls up there popped up? Why do you do that? Why don't you make them flat? That way you give more room for the lip of your pocket, okay? And definitely, which one's a deeper carry? See, this is all the way back. Now, it's not doing double duty necessarily, but it's all the way back. And flat screws. Big top screws. And yes, does that squeeze up onto the lip of your jeans? Does that start tearing things up? Yeah, why not? Yeah, of course. So, come on, folks. If you're going to do a deep carry clip, take the screws down. You don't need them like that. Otherwise, yeah, I like the general design of the pocket clip, and it you know, this part goes over the lip of your pants, fine. It's just that this part here is going to put a squeeze on that seam on your pocket. Good luck with that. Of course, mine are all destroyed, so it doesn't matter anymore. Entree on the pivot, front and back, you got a little surround here that's gold colored. And like I said before, it's real grippy. I don't mind the design flow, and the overall design I like. It's interesting. It's very inexpensive though, at $39, and it's less than that if you use the discount code. So you're not in bad shape. And we've tested Artisan Cutlery D2 before, and when they just had their regular G10 models with D2, and they tested pretty high HRC wise. They were 61, 62, even 63, I think, on one. You can check on the spreadsheet. I always leave the link to the spreadsheet where you can go in there, you look at Artisan Cutlery and look at the D2, because it's alphabetical on the spreadsheet, and you can see. And whether we have any CJRB knives booked, I don't know. I haven't looked recently, so. But recoil. And so you can do it like that. You can do it like this, and you can pull your finger back and release it. But when this flips up, okay, here comes the flipper tab. Then it hits you in the finger. So you're gonna get a big hello when that comes up. So you got to time that to kind of let go while you're swinging it, so you don't hit it and don't keep it from settling down. Now, this is what it does. It comes to a stop here, and then you can just close it almost like it's an assisted opening. All right, so that's interesting. It's unique. I just don't know that we needed another answer to a lock mechanism. I didn't. If this was axis lock, I'd be actually happier about it. And if this didn't have a flipper tab and it just had thumb studs, or it was a different design using this lock, and they may come out with some, who knows, then the good thing about not having a flipper tab, or it being a flipper, is that it won't interfere with your finger when you flip it closed. It'll just close. It's interesting. I guess it's the way this lock is set up, to where if you don't fling it back with the right amount of force and stuff, then it's just going to sit there. How much does it weigh now that we've jacked around with it? $128 grams at 4.5 ounces. Not bad. And I would take this apart, but I don't know how many little parts I'm going to run into, but that might be the whole point of doing this, is to take it apart. You got a little front choil area here. I guess you could sit up like that if you wanted better control on your blade. And it's sharp, that's for sure. They come in just a standard CJRB box. Nothing fancy, just plastic goes in it. That kind of thing. Not terribly structural, so, but it is what it is. It's a budget knife. Nice back spacer, I like that, and it's the same color as this. And these come in several different colors. Where's my balance point? There's my balance point on this knife. I mean, can I throw this thing out? Yeah, I can throw this thing out. So, whatever it has holding the blade shut is very light. You can just flick it right out like this. Yeah. So, I mean, if it was on my D10 scale, it'd be maybe a 3.2, 3.5, something like that. So that's fairly light. Okay, that was simple enough. Let's see what's inside and what makes this lock function. At least we can get a look at that maybe. Okay, we got this off of here. So you can see they've milled an area in here for this spring. Okay, so it's a lot like an axis lock. I mean, you got this piston going, and you got the spring, and they're doing it on both sides, it looks like, from what I could tell. So then this lock in here, let me see where we're pulling. Okay, so if we took the other scale off, there goes a pocket clip. Okay, there goes that scale. Ah. Okay, there goes the screws off the scale. And these little things came in here to hold this in place. Okay. These 4 little pins and 2 places and 2 places. So this is just one solid piece here. And all these located in place. And then beyond that, you basically have like an axis lock. So you can just pop that spring off and pull this off of here. Okay, you can pull this spring right out of this hole. And bring this loose off of here from both sides. See what I'm saying? There we go. Just lift that one out. And this one will come away as well. Okay, there's the front. There's the back side. Here's this. This piston falls out here. See where that is? Then your scale, or your liner, and then your stop, your pivot, your bearings on both sides are ceramic. Okay, so this is disassembled. Here is your pivot tube. So your screws on both sides with their little decorative surround, they go into that. There's your blade stop. Here's your 4 little pins, okay, that go into these 4 different areas, securing this on top. Here is what goes between these two liners to operate that, and these are your ceramic bearings. This is your spring for the back, and you can't see that. This is your spring for the front, and they are different, by the way, because they're set up to go front side, back side. So keep that in mind. So this is the total tear down. It's just a matter of, it's basically like an axis lock as far as I'm concerned, except all these little fiddly suckers that are going to go in here ought to be a lot of fun. Okay. Okay, we're going to need this to go through here and up here. Spring on one side. We just don't have our... There's our stop. Spring number 2. Spring number 2. Now, okay, got these little locator tiny pins in here, and they're going to fall right out because there's nothing holding them in. So you got to get this on to hold them in place. And you got to get this on to hold those in place. It's like that. And the surround in the front, and that screw and this with surround, and this screw I can keep it in camera. Okay. All right. Now, get the regular body screws in here. Come on, baby. What do you got? Take me home. Take me home. Okay. And back here. Come on. There we go. Here we go. Close it back up. Drop these puppies right in here. There you go. CJRB Kicker. Are there any screws out here? Anything left? Oh, I think we got them all. Jeez. Oh man, those little 4 placement pins, you got to hold them on that side or just drop them in this side, put that on, flip it, drop them in this side, put that on, whatever. But yeah, those are the tricky little suckers, and it's still not easy to put these liners together. Make sure you got your stop, okay, and your liners, and then you've got a D-shaped pivot tube, but these screws and surrounds are not there. So those D-shaped tubes on both sides, there's a flat side on that liner that's got to fit into, and you got to support that and not let it fall out while you put your bearings and everything on. So it's a bit fiddly, isn't it? It's a bit fiddly. Interesting, I guess. Do I need a recoil lock system knife? Nah, not really, but it's kind of interesting that they did it. It'll be interesting to see what they use this recoil lock on in the future that may not have a flipper tab. Maybe do, you know, some thumb studs. And then you don't have this coming up and hitting you when you pull back and do that, if you want to do it like that. Otherwise, you know, you can just use it like you do an axis lock, pull back and do that. Kicker. Made it through the disassembly and out alive. I was warned that there were a couple of fiddly pieces in here, so I was warned. So I decided to undertake it anyhow. I hope it was enjoyable for you. I hope it was more enjoyable for you than it was for me, because I ain't doing it again. But you know what we do? We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.